So who feels like mega January today? Get feedback, Janelle. I've just had let me just start with morning. Let me just start with all these admin questions before we do the register, so I can wait for everyone to join. Right, you're going to get you don't want feedback, well, you're going to get it anyway. Why don't you want feedback? It's fine. Right, so hello to Jakey and Sophie and Leo and Sam and Owen and Josh, Barry and Amy and Janelle and AH. I'll do the register in a minute. Who's AH? Aiden, Moss, Jakey, David, Tim, Shay. Shay's just turned up. Okay. So have you read mine? This is what I'm going to do. I'm in the middle of actually doing year 13s, which I have to send to them. So I'm going to do yours. I will have looked at them and marked them and given you a grade, and I will have done all of that by Sunday night, right? And what's going to happen is usually if you was in the class, don't forget that Harry's in this lesson. Usually in the class, I do them all at the same time, and then I give them back to you at the same time. But because I'm going to be doing it online, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be writing things, and then once I've marked it, I'm going to send it back to you straight away. So from today until Sunday, I'll be marking those. I'll be grading them. I'll be giving you, obviously, feedback and targets. But if one person gets it and then somebody else is like, oh, Miss Tonnett hasn't done mine, chill out. I will be doing them all by Sunday. Give me a thumbs up if that's okay for you. That okay, right, lovely. Will it be sent by email? Yes, it will. Yeah, it will be sent by email. So I'm going to do the register now because I've given you 5 minutes to join. We've got a lot of people here, which is amazing. Right, okie dokie. So when I say your name, either say a yes or give me a, you know, right, hang on a minute. I just got to make sure. I'm going to turn that down because it's driving people bananas. Who can't get on the call? I can't get on the call. What? I don't get it.
And then she can't join it.
Why can't she join the call? Right, so I'm just going to try and get Jess. This is the thing that takes so long. Jessica Wilmot, right, I'm calling her. Let's see if I can get it on. Okay, if she can't get on the, I don't understand why she can't get on the call because she's sending those things there. Right, is everyone ready? So let's do, wow, we've got so many of you, which is lush to see so many here. Are you all ready? So let's go. James?
Yes, miss.
Oh, James. Moss? I know Moss is here because I've seen him. Give me a quick whoop whoop. Hey, is Millie here? Get your fingers ready so that you can just do it straight away, all right? So just say, I am here, and then wait for your name, and then I'll just send it straight away. Janelle, who could do it the quickest? Janelle's taking a little bit of time. Are you here, Janelle? Nuno? Why are these people taking so long? Harry? Right, is Nuno here? Because I'm going to put him in as a nothing. Right, Janelle's here. Timmy D?
Yes, miss.
Yes, straight away, top of the class. Sophia here? Yes, Sophia. Amy Gregory, she's here. She's always here, Shay, isn't she? Good morning, and she gave me a good morning. Nice. Let's see who else. Sam Hart. Yes, Sam, nice and quick. Aiden Holmes.
Yes, miss.
No, I'm saying yes. Oh, Aiden, you gave me the yes, miss. David James. Yes, David. Oh, Paul Jones. PJ, you here? Paulie Paul, yeah. Not just a yeah, a yes, miss. Oh, Nuno's here. Thanks, Nuno. Alex, I think I've seen you. Is Alex here? Yes, Alex. Josh. Joshy. Is Joshy here? Yes, Josh. Sophie. Miss Lee. Yes, nice little smile. Shay. Oh, I got a hello from Shay. It was Beats. It's wearing his Beats by Dr. Dre. Is Dr. Dre dead yet? I don't actually know. He's still alive. I was worried about him, you know. I love Dr. Dre. Ellen. Is Ellen Northeast here? Yes, she is.
See him backstage.
I went to an Eminem concert before you were probably even born. Actually, it was before you were born.
That's why I got this code. 150 quid from the.
I love Eminem. Let's talk about some hardcore rap a little bit later on. Right, Leo is here. Jacob Roberts is here. Yeah.
My mom did take me to the Wembley 2012 one. She didn't want to.
Jacob, is Bobo here? Bo here. Yes, Bo. Jakey. Here. Yes, Jakey. Kate. Kate Schofield. Yeah. Javier. Yeah, Javier. Finn joined us. Gilbert. No. Chloe. Is Weston here? Yes. Jess. Did Jess manage to get on? I did call her. Jess, yes, you're here. Woo! Jess. Yes, miss. Jessica, I'm so glad you joined us. Bella. BW here. Bella Wolf. No. Bells, where are you? And Owen. Owen Wolseley here. Where's he? Lush. That's so free. That's lush. Well done. Right. Okie dokie. Very quickly. I went to see Eminem when I was at University of Manchester, so I would have been 21. I'm now 42. Not that you can tell. 20 years ago, I went to see him. When his first album came out. Not going to lie, that was before you were born. So I love him more than you. Sorry. I saw him when he was blonde. And he pointed at me. I think he wanted to marry me. Right, okay, so.
Mom literally cut my hair and gave me the blondes.
I did that to my son and he was 9. So he was more Eminem than you.
I was like 3.
Yeah, right. You were 3.
Oh no, I was my head.
Right, okay, so what we're going to do today is we are going to be looking at paper 1. Okay, language paper 1. Now, I did this with my class yesterday, and when I had them period 1 yesterday. Oh my god, they were so tired. They were just ridiculous. So what I'm hoping is that you're going to be far better than they are.
Oh, I had 3 hours sleep last night.
And I know it's sick, isn't it? I am pretty cool. Right, so let's go through this. So I'm expecting, to be fair, then they did the work today and the work was amazing. If you speak to anyone in that other class, I was nearly crying.
Yeah,
Amy got a cactus. Amy Barter got my cactus because she just did amazing. So what I'm hoping is that I'm gonna be throwing the cactus at you by when you come back in. So first of all, question: language paper 1. Is it fiction or is it non-fiction? Right, fiction or non-fiction? We did paper 2 in the mocks. So paper 2 is the one that we did about the elephant. So paper 2 we did in the mocks, which was real. Therefore, it was non-fiction. So paper 1 is fiction. All right, it's fiction. It is written and it is fiction. So another question, if paper 2 is all about the writer, what the writer feels, what the writer believes, the writer's thoughts. So you remember you were looking at the 2 elephants and you were looking at one was shot and the other was Jumbo and he was chained up, and it was all about what the writer thinks. What is paper 1 focusing on? Yeah, what's that? What is paper 1 focusing on? If it's fiction. If it's fiction.
Like big ideas.
The big ideas, very good. But who is it focusing more on? The writer or the... Come on, guys. I was hoping for a little bit more... Reader! So the effect on the reader. So it's more about the effect on the reader. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to recap. This is not, this is not new learning. This is a recap of the assessment objectives in question 2, question 3, and question 4. All right, so I'm going to put them on the board. Shay's ecstatic about this. Yeah. I'm going to put them on the board, and what I want you to do is I want you to write down what you think. So this is question 2. All right, so this is paper 1. You only get 1. All right, you only get 1 text. You don't get the 2, so there's nothing that's comparative. You get 1 text. Question 1 is that little 4 marker, which is really easy. Oh, yeah. Okay, it's really easy. Pretty sure if you don't get 4 marks, then, well, I don't know. Question 2 is a question about language. So it's very much concerned with the first paragraph, and it's concerned with the language. How does the writer use language in this paragraph to present or set the scene or something? So have a look at these. What are the key things you need in question 2? And I suggest you get a little bit of a pen and paper so you can make notes on this. However, very much so, it is very much it's about writing these down. This is just recapping. So have a look at these. Can you all see these? What are the things you need? The assessment things that you need in this. What are they, Shay? Have a read through those. Go and read them. Yeah.
Analysis. Did I say analysis?
Analysis. It should actually says analysis, so it should say analysis. Analyzes. Yeah. Analyzes. Right, come on, guys, put it in the text box. What are the things you need? Read through. Very simple. What are the things you need? It's a language question. Is it kind of blurry now? Is that better? What are the things you need? Even if you just think off your heads, what are the things you need?
Descriptive writing.
No, quotes. First thing you need is quotes. Open your book and write it down. Right, so everyone needs quotes. Clear points, Jakey, yes, very good. You need clear points. Answering the question of terminology, very good. You need terminology. So this is very much your verbs, adjectives, metaphors, similes, emotive language, anything that you can think of, all of those poetic terms. And then, yes, what you can infer. Very good. So you're looking at the pinpoint and then you move it back to the big ideas. So if you have a look at this, you've got your range of relevant quotations. So that's your quotes. Very good. You've got your subject terminology accurately and accurately. So to get these top marks, I'm not even going to look at level 2 because everyone should be looking at level 3 and 4. Subject terminology accurately. It can be word level, it can be sort of sentence level, anything like that. And then the clear understanding of language. So we're looking at the effects. So it makes the reader think, or it presents the character like this, or da 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 da. Each one of those. Yeah. Give me a thumbs up if you've got that and you know. I mean, this is the simplest question because it is the same question, the same analysis that you've got on language paper 2. All right, you've got a language question. I mean, this is kind of bread and butter stuff. Give me a thumbs up if you understand that. Thumbs up. Yep, Nuno, thanks. Thumbs up. Come on, let's see who's learning. Amy Gregory, thanks. I don't know why I always call you Amy Gregory. Kate, James, Jacob. Yeah, come on, everyone. Aiden, Alex. Yeah, thumbs up. Tim, just get the emoji. Jakey, Sophie, Jess, Sam, Lush, Bo, Chloe. Love it. Janelle, yep. Right, David, well done. Okay, next one. This is the same amount of marks, but it's on structure. Okay, so it's 8 marks, but it's on structure. So, very similar marks. Before we start, if it's on structure, it's on the whole of the text. So if it's on structure, there's 3 things. If you're going to write like 3 paragraphs, where are you going to look at? Each paragraph is going to be looking at
Quotes.
Structure. So you're looking at how things change.
One of them. Other graphs,
Yes. Start, middle, end. Well done, Tim and Kate and James. Yes, indeedy. You look at the start and you're focusing on the start. Then you move forward and look at the middle, how the writer changes the focus and why, and then you're going to look at how he ends it. So can you remember looking at Zoe? This was in year 10. When you were at home, you were looking at Zoe on the skis. Did you do that?
I don't know. I think I did, but I don't remember it. I would have done it because it was our year 10.
The skis, yes, Amy. And if you remember at the start, she was like looking around and she was like, oh my God. It's so amazing. I'm on top of the world. Can you remember what bird she was compared to?
Eagle.
Yes, Shay. Shay got that before you lazy bones at home. An eagle. And then the middle bit was her going down the slopes. And her husband was there as well. And she was loving it. And then at the end, it changed again. And they had this massive avalanche. And she didn't get out of the way. And she was just like... All right, start, middle, and end. Did she die? We don't know, actually. Probably. I don't know. She was involved in an avalanche that kind of rolled her and rolled her and rolled her. And it did say it all went black. It was quite terrifying, wasn't it, Amy? Yeah. So, the things... So, have a look at the... Well, why not let her die? Why do you hope she didn't die? I can understand why, but she is only fiction. What do you need to have then for this one? Same, but different. What are the things you need for this question? Because we're going to be having a practice of this. So you write 3 paragraphs. First paragraph looks at the start. Second part, I don't think it was actually. Second part looks at the middle. Third part looks at the end. Ding dong dong. So what things?
I don't think it's based on a real story.
What are you looking at? What are the assessment objectives? Look at this.
Relevant examples. Subject, terminology, accurately.
Come on then, put it in the text box. What are some of the things that you know? So what does relevant examples mean?
Examples that matter. I can't think of a better way to describe it than that.
Come on then, you guys at home, because Shay's going to quotes. Yes, Shay, that's what you meant to say, wasn't it?
Yeah, I would have got to that.
He did say, to be fair, Shay did say relevant examples that matter. So that's a good point. You've got to use the quotes that actually are going to back up your point and not kind of use it. Quotes that relate to the question. Very good. What's this one?
The correct words to describe what's happening.
Yes, the correct words, so subject terminology. So the key word here is going to be focus. The writer changed the focus and you're going to be looking at things like timing, so linear time, chronological time, absolutely, Amy, the right terminology. It's things like if they use dialogue, if they change the tension, if they change the pace. So basically you're looking at the whole thing, and I've got this amazing little extract for you in a minute. It's a bit bloodthirsty and some kids do some real crazy, but it's really good. Right, next one. Oh, and then also you've got to talk about the effects. So the effects are things like raising tension, raising suspense, creating humour, creating empathy and pathos. Next one. Right, this is question number 4. First of all, can anyone remember what question 4 is?
Sounds like 16 marks.
No, that's question 5. That's the writing. Question 4. Anyone know what question 4 is?
12 marks.
It's got on there, 20 marks.
Oh, I said that.
But what is it? What is it asking you? Come on, guys. Who can remember what it is asking you? We have done this 50,000 million times before. Not comparison, Amy Good, but there's only one. Everything combined, Nuno. Yeah, it is everything combined. Not comparison because there's only one. One text.
Quotation.
Yeah, but what does it say? Can anyone remember the actual question? It's evaluative, so it's asking you to evaluate, which means to put your own opinion is. Can anyone remember what it starts? Okay, you're going to kick yourselves. You're going to go, oh yeah, I remember. A student says, give me a thumbs up if you remember. A student says. All right, so they give you a little bit of text. It's usually at the end. And then the question is, a student says, I think that Zoe was foolish. She should have moved when she heard the noise. In what way do you... What's that head slap for? Do you agree, Moss? Very good. Oh, yeah. Can you remember now, James?
I still don't remember.
I bet that's not surprised, right? Yes. Do you agree? So it's like, do you agree? So in this one, you have to, and you can make notes, remember, evaluate the text. What does evaluate the text? So you clearly evaluate the text with reference to the, I call it a steer. Like it steers you in a certain way. All right?
It's an argument.
Yeah, an argument. Like the student says this, and then you've got to say if you agree. I think the writer's really good at, yeah, how far do you agree? And then you've got to say, I agree because, yeah, make a judgment, Nuno. I agree with what the student says because, and then this is almost like scientific because you have to make your hypothesis and then you have to back things up. And you've got to say, yes, these are the reasons why I agree with the student. You have done this. So what are the things we need here? Obviously, clearly evaluates the text. Yeah, opinions, very good. So you have to have your personal opinions. What's this one? This one and this one are very similar. In fact, they are absolutely the same. Offers examples, yes, but it's more important than just quotes, Tim. It offers examples from the text that explain your views. So in this one, you've got to, it's not just that formulaic, like this is what he does, and this is this, and that is that. It's much more evaluative. So you've really, yes. So the quotes back up your point. So if you say, I agree that Zoe was stupid because, I can't remember who wrote it. So writes, she stood and looked in awe. So the fact that the verb stood suggests that she was not moving. Okay, so you're backing up things that are very much linked to your points. Obviously, using the effect of the writer's choices, you can, if you want to, use techniques here. But yes, it's very much evaluative. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you're all okay about this. You have done it about 15,000 times. Thumbs up. Yes. Jay's got a thumb up. Thumbs up. Did you play that when you were little? Thumbs up, thumb down.
Oh, I did. And you'd always look at everyone's shoes.
Can't say that I did that. Right, can everyone now see this thing on Lord of the Flies? You're going to love this. Nay, you're going to write to your parents and be like, OMG, Miss Sonnet did the most horrendous thing today.
Why? What did you do?
Going to read this to you.
Oh.
Right, can everyone see this? Do you know this one? Do you know Lord of the Flies?
Yeah.
Did you? Oh, some of you might know this. It's called Lord of the Flies, right? Right, so what's the first thing you do when you go into this? You go into the exam, what's the first thing you do?
Read the question.
Very good. Yeah, you read the question. So obviously this is a sort of slightly artificial, you know, right? Yes, Jakey, right? You read the question. I know that's what you're going to say. But how does the writer use language to set the scene in the first paragraph? Oh, the first paragraph. Here we go. This is the first paragraph. So when you're reading this, we're looking forward to see how he sets the scene. Very nice. How does the writer use structure to interest you as a reader? Year 8 Selwood gang. I went to Selwood. My boys went to Oakfield. There are big fights in our house. Big up. Okay, read from They Surrendered the Covert to the Clearing. A student says the writer really brings the hunt to life. It is shocking to think young boys can behave so barbarically. To what extent do you agree with this statement? All right, so when you come round here, you're going to be thinking, right, okay, what's going on here? We're going to be looking at how awful it is. Right, so now I'm going to read it. So the following extract is from the middle of the novel Lord of the Flies, and it's by, go on then, you clever clogs, who's it by? Year 8 Selwood gang. Come on then. Who thinks they've got like brains? Who's a clever clogger? Who wrote it? Who wrote Lord of the Flies? If you did it, tell me who wrote it. Oh, it's just on the tip of my tongue, mate. It's just on the tip of my tongue. Is Lord of the Flies good? It is amazing. Right, anyone know?
I reckon that's the name of it.
Yeah, okay. I knew that you'd get there in the end, especially after I'd written actually it. William Golding. William Golding.
Guarantee at least one.
Golding. Right. So, a group of boys have been shipwrecked on an island. The hunters are a group of boys who have become skilled at killing the wild pigs. Right. And if you know this book, yes, they dropped the stone on Piggy. His name is Piggy, and they smoosh him. Did you watch the black and white film? Oh, it's an amazing book. I have a copy here, so when you come back to school, if anyone wants to read it, it is brilliant. It's all about how we have this society and we create these rules of society, but given the choice, if the rules were taken away, would we become barbaric? And they kill. So Simon, and yeah, it's brilliant. Oh my God, look at that weather. Okay, so I'm going to read it. So immediately you are reading this, and it's all about boys who have become skilled at, it's not a spoiler, Amy, killing the wild pigs. What would you expect this to be then? If you're looking at this and it's about young boys killing a pig, what are the things that you would expect? Or that you'd be looking out for?
Big ideas.
Yeah, big ideas. Yeah, the power of the big ideas. But what would you be looking at? If I said, right, you're going to read something intense, very good. It's likely to be intense. It's likely to be, what else? Boys are killing an animal. What else is it likely to be? If I said, right, you're now going to, what, chaotic, Amy? On fire, yeah, chaotic. What else? Brutal, Jakey. Yeah, much like my classroom when Shane's not doing his work. Bloody, violent.
I'm still trying to think of the word. That's the word that I want to say.
Yes, very good. And also, because it's little boys who are doing it, there's also likely to be, what's that? From the reader. Little boys at Selwood killing a pig. Shocking. Amy, you're going to get one of my cactus, definitely. Right, so I'm going to read through this, and then we're going to talk about it, and then we're going to go back to looking at the language. So, you've already read the questions. What you know is that in this paragraph, we're going to be looking at how he sets the scene. And it's always a good idea to think, well, you've got to think of the whole thing first before you look at this, where it looks like he's going to set the scene. The pigs lay, bloated bags of fat, sensuously enjoying the shadows under the trees. There was no wind, and they were unsuspicious, and practice had made Jack, silent as the shadows. He stole away again and instructed his hidden hunters. Presently, they all began to inch forward, sweating in the silence and the heat. Under the trees, an ear flapped idly. A little apart from the rest, sunk in deep maternal bliss, lay the largest sow of the lot. She was black and pink, and the great bladder of her belly was fringed with a row of piglets that slept or burrowed or squeaked. 15 yards from the drove, Jack stopped, and his arm, straightening, pointed at the sow. He looked round in inquiry to make sure everyone understood, and the other boys nodded at him. The row of right arms slid back. Now! The drove of pigs started up, and at a range of only 10 yards, the wooden spears with fire-hardened points flew towards the chosen pig. One piglet, with a demented shriek, rushed into the sea, trailing Roger's spear behind it. The sow gave a gasping squeal and staggered up, with 2 spears sticking in her fat flank. The boys shouted and rushed forward. The piglet scattered, and the sow burst the advancing line and went crashing away through the forest. After her! They raced along the pig track, but the forest was too dark and tangled, so that Jack, cursing, stopped them and cast among the trees. Then he said nothing for a time, but breathed fiercely, so that they were awed by him and looked at each other in uneasy admiration. Presently he stabbed down at the ground with his finger. There! Before the others could examine the drop of blood, Jack had swerved off, judging a trace, touching a bough that gave. So he followed mysteriously, right and assured, and the hunters trod behind him. He stopped before a covert. In there! They surrounded the covert, but the sow got away with the sting of another spear in her flank. The trailing butts hindered her, and the sharp cross points were a torment. She blundered into a tree, forcing a spear still deeper. And after that, any of the hunters could follow her easily by the drops of vivid blood. The afternoon wore on, hazy and dreadful with the damp heat. The sow staggered her way ahead of them, bleeding and mad, and the hunters followed, wedded to her in lust, excited by the long chase and the dropped blood. They could see her now, nearly got up with her, but she spurted on her last strength and held ahead of them again. They were just behind her when she staggered into an open space where bright flowers grew and butterflies danced round each other, and the air was hot and still. Gulp! Here, struck down by the heat, the sow fell, and the hunters hurled themselves at her. This dreadful eruption from an unknown world made her frantic. She squealed and bucked, and the air was full of sweat and noise and blood and terror. Roger ran round the heap, prodding his spear wherever pig flesh appeared. Jack was on top of the sow, stabbing downward with his knife. Roger found a lodgment for his point and began to push. I hate this bit. I'll tell you what this actually means in a minute. Oh. Roger found a lodgment for his point and began to push till he was leaning on with his whole weight. The spear moved forward inch by inch, and the terrified squealing became a high-pitched scream. Then Jack found the throat, and the hot blood spouted over his hands. The sow collapsed under them, and they were heavy and fulfilled upon her. The butterflies still danced, preoccupied in the centre of the clearing. Ooh. Who thinks that's really quite disturbing? Because when I said this to my other class, they were like, nah, it's just boys, innit? I was like, my boys do not go out killing pigs down Watcombe Fields. Do you know what I mean? Do you think it's disturbing?
I mean, when it normally happens, no, but when you put it in that much detail,
so it's the detail that makes it disturbing. Yeah. Right, interesting point, James, and we will come back to that in a minute. That was the pig that he killed. Yeah, the sow. It's called a sow. Shay made a good point. He said that it is quite disturbing when you see the detail. So what you've got here, which is what we talk about, is the fact that they are killing because they need the meat. It is so detailed, very good. Shall I actually tell you what the most awful bit is? Does anyone get this bit about Roger? But if you read the book, and you don't need to talk about this, Roger is like evil, right? He's evil personified. What is Roger doing here? found a lodgment for his point and began to push till he was leaning with his whole weight. No, where's he put the stick in the pig? Yeah, but whereabouts in the pig? A lodgment, a hole. No. He finds a hole. Yeah. Yeah. This is what makes it so utterly disgusting for me, is the fact that Roger, he couldn't just kill it, he had to torture the animal, and so he puts it in the back of the pig and pushed and pushed and pushed. And if you want to be really perceptive, there's like a lot of imagery around that, what that could possibly be.
I thought lodgement meant like some kind of stick.
A hole where he can lodge something.
Yeah.
So that is the sort of thing, and the fact that he pushes on it and pushes on it and pushes on it, like that is beyond killing. That is torture. Anyway, happy days. And you know, there's nothing really quite awful about this, because it is something that we used to teach. We used to teach this for GCSEs. Like, I loved it. It was so much better than Curious. Imagine doing this rather than Curious. It'd be good, wouldn't it? Oh, it's actually made me feel a bit weak. Right. Okay. So, what? It is good, Amy. It is brilliant. It is great. Right. So here's the question. Yeah, exactly. The fact that it talks about naturalistic imagery with that scene. Yeah. I don't know. I think this is good. Curious is good, but I think this is good as well. No, Mice and Men was not. I don't like Mice and Men. Okie dokie. We'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah, we'll talk about question 4 in a minute. Right, so this is question number 2. How does the writer use language to set the scene in the first paragraph? Right? So this is the paragraph. I will reread it, and then what I want you to do is I want you to write down 1 or 2 sentences about what the writer is trying to do here. And I do not want you to write down that he is setting the scene. All right? That's the worst thing. That's like writing down, it makes the reader want to read on. It tells me nothing. All right? It tells me nothing. You know what happens at the start. You know what happens at the end. What is he trying to do? Obviously, he's trying to set the scene, but what is he trying to do specifically? So I'll read this again and then write it in. Hang on. The pigs lay bloated bags of fat, sensuously enjoying the shadows under the trees. There was no wind, and they were unsuspicious. The practice had made Jack silent as the shadows. He stole away again and instructed his hidden hunters. Presently, they all began to inch forward, sweating in the silence and the heat. Under the trees, an ear flapped idly, a little apart from the rest, sung in deep maternal bliss, the largest sow of the lot. She was black and pink, and the great bladder of her belly was fringed with a row of piglets that slept or burrowed and squeaked. Right, I'm just going to mute myself so I can talk to Shay about this, but he is trying to set the scene, obviously. What is he trying to do with this scene, with this first scene? What is he trying to do to the readers? Okay, so can you write down what he is trying to do in this first paragraph? Can you also write down, I'm here if you have joined this and I didn't do the register with you because I won't have said. Very good. Yes, very good. Oh my good. Right, let me just go back up and start reading these. These are amazing. He's implying that the boys are about to kill the pigs. Yes, also language such as bloated foreshadows this because it shows that the pigs are full and will make a delicious meal. Very good. Show there is prey and then predator. Alex, that is brilliant. The idea that the pigs are prey and the boys are predators. Very good. And so he's contrasting these two. The pigs seem like victims, which paints the boys as being even more evil. The readers feel sympathy for the pig and the piglets, making the boys seem like evil killers. Excellent. William, like, so Golden doesn't want us to side with the boys. These are amazing. These are not even the big things. He's putting the readers in the children's shoes, making the pigs sound appetizing. Yes, Golding is describing the pigs in good detail. They're going to hunt them. Very good. Jacob, you need to be more clear about that. He does create a lot of imagery, but you're not telling me what that imagery is. Right. Very good. Is there anyone here that I didn't do the register with? Just because there's a couple of people that have joined.
Yeah, 3 more that have joined.
I'll have a look in a minute. Right. Okie dokie. So the whole point, you might want to make little notes about this. The whole point is that he is presenting the contrast between the pigs and the humans. All right. So no, I've got you. I spoke to you about it. So you've got the contrast of the pigs who are presented as prey. They are presented innocently. They are presented as unsuspicious. And in contrast to that, you have the boys who have been presented as predators. Now, my last class made some amazing points. And one of the points that they said, which I thought was incredible, was that, actually, no, I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to get you to have a go at writing this, one paragraph, and then we'll go through this. So I'm going to give you 6 minutes. And what I want you to do is, I want you to write one paragraph, or I don't like saying paragraphs, one point in which you use a point. So either you can say, you can look either at the pigs or you can look at the boys. So you can choose either the pigs or the boys. You explore the quote. You look at what Golding is trying to do with both of them. So with the quote, okay, so with the pigs, what is he trying to do? How is he trying to set the scene with the pigs? How is he trying to set the scene with the boys? Okay, so this contrast and this juxtaposition. Okay, does everyone understand what they've got to do? Just choose one quote, like from that from the text, and just have a go at exploring it. Yeah. Give me a thumbs up if you know what you're going to do. You're going to write this in the text box, so don't do it yet. Do it in. Yeah. Okay. So just start writing, but don't put it on. Don't put it on like return yet. Okay.
Yeah, but Nuno has missed none, so therefore I think Nuno wins out. You know.
Okay, so off you go. Right, I'm going to just mute it so I can talk to Shay. So. Right, you are writing the whole paragraph. Okay, so you're writing one paragraph. In this extract, the writer presents the pigs as, or in this extract, the writer presents the, and yes, you're writing the whole paragraph and you're using the three things that we said beforehand. You're using a quote, you're using the technique, and you're exploring the big ideas about it. Well, yes, in not so many words, I suppose. Like you're trying to move away from the 5-star, so just use the exploring. Right, I'm aware of time, so I'm going to give you 3 more minutes. I'm not going to mark this. This is just an exploration, a reminder of what we were doing. If you're having a bit of a confusion, think about how has he presented the pigs as prey, or how has he presented the boys as predators? Either of those two to set the scene. Okay, who's finished or who has got something that they would be quite happy to show? Right, lovely. Okay, so if you've got something you'd like to show, please can you just put it in here? Golding uses language to create a contrast between the boys who are the predators and the pigs who are the prey. A quote to show this is fringed with a row of piglets. The noun piglet shows that the pig is the mother. Very good, she's a sow. So you've got your hypothesis and you've got your quote, and you've also got the noun, which is the language technique. Very good. Golding has done this to show that the pig is a victim, because when there is a child or piglet involved, people tend to feel like if anything happens to them, they feel sorry for the victim. Another quote would be the hidden hunters. The noun hunters, very good. So you've got the contrast. Implies the boys are hunting something down. Golding has done this to explore the ideas that the boys are predators and that they are hunting down their prey. Very good. He has also done this to create the juxtaposition of the pigs as prey and that the boys are predators and are evil because they're going to murder the mother. Brilliant. Very good. You've got the big ideas, which is the idea of like killing the mother and the boys being sinister and brutal. Excellent. In this extract, the writer presents the boys as predators and the pigs as prey. This is shown in the quote, "Practice had made Jack silent as the shadows." You can infer from that Jack has become very good at hunting the pig down. They've become more barbaric. On top of the quote, "Hidden hunters." First, the idea these kids have become predators. Very good, Harry, but you need to have techniques. You know, the noun hunters and practice had made Jack silent as the shadows, similarly. Okay. Golding presents the boys as skillful predators. The adjective silent reinforces the idea that the group are using stealth to hunt, much like animals in the wild tracking prey. Now, this is really good, and I'm going to show you an excellent one in a minute. These are brilliant. The writer presents the group of boys as unruly and barbaric. Excellent words. Instructed as hidden hunters. This quote to make them seem like predators, but also that you could infer how desperate they are to survive, that they are willing to do anything, even kill someone's mother just for food. So that's interesting, Amy. So you've looked at big ideas about the desperateness and the necessity of the boys to have to kill the animals. Excellent. Oh, that wasn't Amy, that was Jacob, sorry. Amy, Golding in the beginning of the text portrays the pigs as being a must for these boys. The pigs lay bloated bags of fat, sensuously enjoying the shadows under the trees. The adjective bloated illustrates that the pigs are full and will make a good meal for the boys, allowing the reader to have an emphasis on how hungry they are to kill. Very good. In this quote, it also allows the reader to feel sympathy for the pigs. They are enjoying the shadows. Very good. The noun shadows evokes a shaded place. Some may say a safe place, making us sympathize or empathize with the pigs, as they believe they are safe. The pig feels that this is a place she can lay with her piglets, painting the boys as evil predators. Oh my gosh, that is brilliant. Right, I am just going to do one that they had before. I will go back and use the other ones, but I'm just very aware of time. In this extract, the writer presents a contrast between the hunters and the pigs. For example, they were unsuspicious, shows the pig's innocence in this situation. The adjective unsuspicious shows how unsuspecting and wild the hunters were in comparison to the calm pigs. Then the writer writes, presently began to inch forward, sweating in the silence. The verb sweating infers that the boys were putting thought and effort into the hunting. The boys would be a contrast to themselves, as the noun boys infers innocence, quite like how the pigs were acting, whereas the pigs, animals, would probably be considered wild by the reader, which shows how the boys were acting. This makes the reader feel astonished towards the boys, as they are the same species and would feel hurt. So what this person did, this was someone from my other class, said actually the roles have reversed. So the pigs become almost domesticated in the mother and the piglets, whereas the boys have become like animals. All right, so the roles of the boys should be human and have rules and society, and they shouldn't be acting like this. However, Amy has pointed out that there is the necessity, whereas the pigs are the animals, but in this case the roles are reversed. Now that is a very high grade. Anyone sort of talking about that is excellent. If you wrote it on paper, don't worry, you can just send me a picture, it doesn't matter. So last things, because we've only got a couple of minutes. Can you write down one thing that you have either relearned or learnt today about language paper 1, especially question number 2? One thing you've learned, probably relearned, because it's like recapping. Jay said that you need quotes, clear points, but also that you need inference to think about the big ideas. Very good. Everyone write something in there. Got a couple of minutes. Everyone write something in that you've learned or recapped. Yes, to focus on the effect that the writer was trying to explore, the different, the points of view when you're doing structure. It isn't actually that difficult if you know what you're doing. It's not, is it? I don't think you can basically you can talk any old waffle as long as you can, that you're okay about doing this. Right, structure. Yes, structure, start, middle and end. Very good. Yes, the style of questions, I could not remember it before. Structure is very easy, start, middle and end. Nicely done. Nicely done. To focus the effects and point of view the writer's trying to get across. Yeah, lovely. So it's just remembering things that we've done before. Structure. Structure is the whole text, not just a small part. Very good. Chamaze balls. Chamaze balls. Right. Now, I see you on Friday. Period 1, 2, 3. Period 3. We are going to be looking at a little bit more of this, and then we're going to go on to look at what's the next question after this? Language, and then what's question number 3? I know question number 3. I know it's question number 3. What is question number 3? Shay, do you know? What's question number 3? Janelle, I'm going to find you and beat you. It's not comparison. It's 3. Question number 3. I've just talked about it. Come on. Otherwise, I'll put a cactus in your bed. Question 1 is the little 4 marker. Question 2 is language. Question 3 is structure. Well done, James. The whole text. So next lesson, 4. No, you don't. Sorry, you don't have comparison in this one, Janelle. What are you talking about? Comparison is paper 2. When you get 2 things in it. Yeah, blood. In it. Questions. That's paper 2. Oh man. Yeah, we've done paper 2. It's what we did in the mocks. It's non-fiction when you get the 2 and you compare it. Paper 1 is the easier question because you only get 1 text. Ta-ding! Right then, so I will see you all paper on Friday. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you this whole text so that you can print it or have it in front of you because we're going to need to look all of it. Final thing, can you send me an email if you want to come and collect your books, your anthology and your folder on Friday. Okay, you need to send me an email, csonnet@froomcollege.org. Okay, right, goodbye, thumbs up, ciao ciao. Thank you, you're welcome, bye bye.